Hey everybody, this is Tracy here for another edition of Survivor's Remorse, Season 4, Episode 3, which was titled Closure. So Mary Charles tells Pookie that she wants to go grab something to eat as they walk out of the cemetery. And she feels guilty about being hungry after visiting the graves of her rape dads, as she puts it. But Pookie assures her that it's okay for her to want to eat. And then Mary Charles thinks that she may want to eat because she feels like she did what needed to be done regarding the situation. So she once again asks how Julius had her mother's attackers killed, but Pookie still refuses to tell her. When he says that the how doesn't matter, why it does. So then Mary Charles lets him know that she hopes she has a secret one day and needs him to keep because he'll be real good about keeping it. So Mary Charles and Pookie grab a bite to eat as Mary Charles challenges him to learn how to swim because he had said before, that he didn't know how to swim. So he had asked her, how she's doing, and she says that she thought seeing the graves would make her feel better, but she feels like she's had some growth because she's not thinking about having sex with him to numb herself. So how Mary Charles, that's all she think about is sex. And even though she's a lesbian, she has made like several sexual references to Pookie, which is really disturbing in my mind because, like I said in the last recap, I was hoping that Pookie would turn out to be her real father. She tells him that she's learning how to lean on friends like him and be grounded, and she thanks him for all he's done for her on this visit and taking her to the graves and as much of the story that he's told. So she offers to pay for the food, especially since Pookie only ate a salad, but gets a bright idea on her way to the bathroom. So Mary Charles goes back to the graveyard with Pookie to pee on the graves of Cassie's attackers. And so, once again, they singing in the car as they make their way back to the cemetery. So they go back to the grave, and so Mary Charles, she stoops down on each one of the graves and she pees, and then when she got to the third one, I don't know if she just had gas or if she dropped a load or what happened, but she said that she was embarrassed because Pookie was standing there but he had his back to her. The following day, Pookie drops Mary Charles off back at the airport, because she had taken Chen's private plane there. So while she's waiting, to board the plane, Cassie calls and asks her, did she get all she needed from Pookie? And Mary Charles lets her know that she did. And so she tells her that she's a miracle and to focus on moving forward when she returns to Atlanta. Then we go to Reggie, and Reggie gets his father ready for bed, and Trent is spending the night at Reggie and Missy's home, and Reggie, makes sure that he has everything that he needs, so he's kind of warming up to having his dad there. He tells Trent, to make sure he gets something from the kitchen for breakfast, and he plans on sleeping in. So Trent asks him, how his head is doing, and Reggie, lets him know that he's still in a lot of pain. So they're just doing like a little small talk, because, kind of get over the awkwardness that Reggie is actually being kind to him. Missy and Reggie, they're off together and they're talking, and so Missy was brushing her teeth, and Reggie attempts to talk to her about, what happened in the parking lot with Trent, and she's like, why don't we just do what you said earlier, sleep it off and talk in the morning. And so Missy was brushing her teeth and she was gargling and spitting out and gargling and spitting out. But the last time Missy spit, she didn't wash that sink out. She turned around and walked away. And I was like, "Ooh, Missy, you nasty." But anyway, so Reggie tells her that he wishes that he never went to see Trent, and Missy says that it's her fault for pushing him to do it and meddling in their business. So Reggie, he apologizes for lying about where he was going, but says that he feels like everything is all his fault. And he says that, he may not be able to give her everything that she needs in life. And then she tells him that, he's everything that she wants and needs. And I really don't understand why these two are having these issues, because all of it just seems a little made up, and it's sort of like two people who are so afraid of happiness that they sabotage what they're doing. And so I don't get it. It's like they're making up drama where there doesn't need to be any. So Reggie, they continue on with the conversation, and he doesn't feel that he's capable of giving her the life that she wants. And he's blaming it on his daddy issues. And so she points out the fact that he is worried. The fact that he's worried means that he's capable of being the man that she wants him to be. The following morning, Missy comes back in and gives him a letter that Trent left on the pillow. So in the letter, Trent thanks Reggie, for everything, and tells him to reach out, when he feels more comfortable. So I was like, oh my God, Trent, why you didn't just stay so y'all could work things out? So then we go back to Cam, and Cam is still reading his father's letters, and he calls Allison again, to read one to her. So in the letter, his dad is apologizing, for not giving him Christmas gifts, and, all the other mistakes that he made or things that he could have done better. And so Cam says that he understands why Cassie hid the letters, but he can't help but feel like the whole situation is unnecessary and sad. Like she should have just gave him the letters and things turned out however they would have turned out. So Allison offers, to use her frequent flyer miles to see him in Boston, but he tells her that, he will buy her a plane ticket, when he needs her to come out there. He lets her know that he's going to go back to the prison to see his father again, and he's not confident that his father even wants to see him, but he's going to give it a try, and Allison convinces him that, your dad does want to see you and everything is going to be good. So after they hang up, Allison gets to thinking, so she calls Reggie, and so she tells him that Cam is in Boston, to see his dad, and she's worried and thinks that Reggie should go to see him. And then Reggie, of course he agrees, because he's like, why in the world is Cam out there in Boston? Why ain't nobody told me any of this was going on? So then Paul and Cam meet at a house that's for sale and go over, how they're going to flip the house for profit. So seems like Cam gonna go ahead and give Paul some money and see how things turn out. So Cam goes back to see his father and thanks him for writing the letters, and then he tells him that he's planning on coming back to see him the next day. Then of course Reggie, gets on the first thing smoking to get to Boston, and he meets Cam, and they both tell each other, they have a lot of catching up to do, because Reggie needs to tell him about his dad and getting his butt whooped at the restaurant, and then Cam needs to tell him about the letters and the fact that he done gave Paul some money. He's going to give Paul that money to flip the house. So then Mary Charles, she's at the airport and she sees Chen's other airplane, and so she calls, to see why the plane is there, because she's thinking that Cassie has come back. But then Reggie tells her that, he borrowed the jet to get to Boston to meet up with Cam. And Mary Charles didn't even know that Cam was in Boston, which I thought was funny that they was both there and neither one had called and talked to each other. So then he invites her to join them, and they go eat, and then they can all catch up and talk to one another. And so that was it. Like, these episodes, they be good, but they be going by so fast. So it's a real quick recap. So that was it, guys. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Leave your comments below, rate the video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.